So this is Vicious Syndicate's strength in numbers. If you guys don't know, Vicious Syndicate's a really good resource to get decks and stuff, but this is their first Data Reaper report of the Titans expansion. And the only reason I'm reading it is because I want to see how they feel about it. Chat, how do you guys feel about Titan? I'm sure a lot of you either love it or hate it. There's probably not a lot of people who don't have a middle ground for it, because this is a very aggressive and very explosive metagame at the moment. I mean, personally, I haven't played it since I hit Legend. So let's see it. Let's see what we got. So number of games. Oh my God, that's a lot of games. Okay, cool. At all ranks, the most popular deck in the game right now is Plague Death Knight. Well, Death Knight in general, followed by Rainbow Mage, followed by Mech Rogue. But at top K Legend, it's all Rainbow Mage. And then at Legend, it's Rainbow Mage. So Mech Rogue's the most popular at Diamond 4 to Diamond 1. And then all of it's Rainbow Mage at High Legend. Holy moly. Okay. The class frequency. I mean, that doesn't really help me. Okay. We decided to go through this report despite the balance changes, since there's still a lot of valuable information to be gained from the expansion's first week of data. It's been a pretty oh my God, it's been a hectic first week full of surprises. Rainbow Mage might be the most memorable deck for the first week of the Titans. Chat, reminder for you guys. I called Sif being the best card, like literally the best card of Titans. I just want everyone to remember that. Players have quickly enamored by its playstyle and perceived strength, centered around board-based finisher and elemental inspiration, as well as an off-board finisher fueled by Sif, also known as Mommy. It is the most popular deck throughout most of ladder and almost a 20% play rate at top Legend before getting nerfed. Mech Rogue has had an extremely successful launch of Titans. Should I zoom in slightly for you, chat? Is that better? Becoming one of the most popular decks in the game, the deck ended up fully committed to the tribe, aiming to develop threats every turn and magnetize the snowball. Miracle Rogue running Mimron package is present in lower numbers, while Secret Rogue is barely visible. Okay. Hunter has had an unexpectedly, oh my God, I can't read chat. I'm so sorry for my freaking, I can't read. I need help. Hunter has expectedly had a strong start. Hound Hunter quickly carved out its place. Dude, Hound Hunter is broken still, isn't it? With the newcomer Secret Hunter adding to the class presence, initially looking like an aggressive deck developing early game threats. Okay, Hunter's boring. Nature's Shaman development is another interesting story to follow. The deck has understandably difficult to figure out, with many different builds going through experimentation. The archetype progressively rises in popularity as you climb ladder, peaking at top Legend with a 10% play rate. One of the fastest combo decks we've seen since United and Stormwind. It's pretty fucking good, bro. Death Knight is mainly focused on the Plague archetype, as well as the ever-present Blood Control Death Knight. The class finally looking normal, with a play rate that doesn't seem inflated compared to other classes, and gradually declines on the ladder climb. Both Frost and Aholia have faded away. Do you guys think that Death Knight will only get less and less play because the class is so constricted in the way you have to build decks, and because it's not the most popular class anymore, because it's not brand new, it's going to end up being one of the least popular classes in the game? I wonder. It's an interesting thought. Control Priest has stuck around, attempting to survive a format with seemingly more powerful late game win conditions. Interest in Undead Priest is very low. Yeah, obviously. Warlock looks rejuvenated at the launch of the expansion, with Chad Warlock becoming the most popular deck on the climb to Legend. Curse Warlock is another archetype that has raised its, oh my God, I mean, it's basically the same thing though, man. Curse Warlock and Chad Warlock. Okay. Demon Hunter is all about relics, whereas a disappointing launch of Titan. So what else is new, dude? With an experimentation starting, Odin noticeably fading. Blackheart Roll dead on arrival, while range attracts very little interest. So Warrior is just not a class currently. Druid has failed to gain serious traction, with the class looking like a general mess. And all sorts of experimentations occurring with Drum Circle or common component. Druid decks running the Hero Power package and Ignis are labeled Ignis Druid. Drum Circle decks without the Ignis packages are called Drum Druid. Okay. Paladin is one of the least popular classes in the format. Its two primary archetypes, Pure and Mech. Pure Paladin is a split between Horn of the Winterlord builds and Crusader Aura builds. Most Crusader Aura builds run the Dude package, leveraging Silverhand recruits in some way. Earthen Paladin look dead on arrival. F. All right, this is for the data nerds out there who really care about matchup spread. I don't give a shit about matchup spread. Let's look at the best decks. Okay, so the best deck in the game at top 1K Legend, before nerfs, but it should just be relatively around the same. Hound Hunter is the best deck, followed by Mech Rogue, followed by Secret Hunter, followed by Rainbow Mage. At Legend, it's the same thing, but Secret Hunter is higher than Mech Rogue. At Diamond 1 to Diamond 4, it's the same thing, but Rainbow Mage is down a tier. What's the worst deck? Worst deck at top K 1K Legend is Chad Warlock Plague Death Knight. Oh my god. Aggro Druid, Frost Aggro Death Knight, Unholy Aggro Death Knight, Control Warrior, Drum Druid, Ignis Druid. Is Druid really that bad? I don't know. I played it. It was not awful. Tier 4 Druid, Death Knight, Death Knight, Death Knight, Druid, Warrior, Warrior. Is that the only Warrior deck? It's the only Warrior deck. Okay. Oh, Warrior F, man. Okay. Worst deck is just Druid. Man, Druid must suck. Oh my god. I don't care about this. Reminder. I don't care about this. Okay. All right. As always, we want to remind you not to take win rates at face value. Impossible challenge in the first week of the expansion. There's a reason we accompany numbers with detailed write-ups to put them in a context. I don't read, so this doesn't matter. There are many decks that can drastically improve through refinement. That is true. So normally the first week of the expansion is worse for control decks because control decks are generally harder to optimize. So what we see here, generally speaking, is probably Death Knight will get a little bit better as it gets refined, and Control Priest will get better as it gets more refined for what the metagame calls for. So that's also the case. Some decks are peaked in their performance, some decks are complete garbage and should disappear, which also influences the meta. True. So like the worst decks there are in the format, that means like Mech Rogue can really capitalize on how bad they are and get a higher win rate, right? It's also been a balance patch, so we'll try to guess the impact of nerfs to Solid Alibi and Lab Constructor. Okay. Mage. Rainbow Mage has been a resounding success story. Yes, it looks really good. I mean, we don't even have to read that. The Solid Alibi nerf isn't expected to drastically change most of Mage matchups, since the Solid Alibi isn't too important in most, but there are a couple to look out for. It's a key card against Nature Shaman and has been a big contributor to Mage's advantage there. We expect Mage to lose significant... Oh my god. We expect Mage to lose significant percentages against Shaman if it opts to cut Solid Alibi. Yeah, that's probably true. Okay. Overall, we expect Mage to be a decent performer even after the nerf. Yeah, okay. So Mage is around, chat. Mech Rogue. I want to see what they talk about the nerf. It was likely to become a serious parallel or a balancing concern, but the nerf to Lab Constructor should ensure that never happens. You might be surprised to hear that Lab Constructor isn't one of the rogue. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, when they nerfed it, I'm like, it doesn't change the deck that much because it only adds to the snowballing of the deck. The problem is the early game and the stealth mech that you can generate in the Wind Fury mech. Like, I don't know. The nerf seems to be intended to reduce the frustration on the card crates. That's also what I said, dude. I should work for this company. That's what I said. Chat, you guys remember when I said that? Miracle Rogue doesn't look great. Unfortunate. Secret Rogue shows good potential, more refined form, and appear in top legend seems to produce strong results. Hound Hunter should become the undisputed #1 deck in the format over the next few days. Oh my god, there's only one thing to say about that. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Snooze. Nature Shaman's first day of the expansion ended up placing it at tier 4. Since then, there's been a rapid improvement in its performance as players have continued to hone in to become the most efficient combo deck it can be. This process is far from over, so the deck is clearly upward trajectory in its performance, starting to become tier 1 at top legend. If this deck becomes tier 1 at top legend, chat, we are in for United and Stormwind. So you guys all better pray that this deck doesn't become tier 1 and they nerf it. I am pretty confident that Shaman's going to be one of the most hated decks in the format if Hunter gets nerfed and they don't touch it. The prospects of Plague Death Knight don't look very good. Yeah, the problem with Plague Death Knight, when I played it at least, is it needs a payoff. Like it desperately needs a card that says like for each plague in your opponent's deck, deal 1 damage randomly. Something along those lines. You just don't have a payoff. And because your opponent just doesn't draw all their plagues on average all at once or in the early game, it just feels horrible. So they need a better payoff than just like, here's a big stat minion with Russian Reborn. Blood Control DK holds it better, but the late game lethality is becoming a problem for it too. Yeah, the better the combo decks be, the worse control decks become. So that makes sense. Frost and Holy have been pushed. Okay. Late game lethality is not what Control Priest wants to see. The combination of Rainbow Mage, Nature Shaman, Hound Hunter is simply backbreaking. Nature Shaman is the worst matchup of the 3 as a combo is nearly impossible to disrupt. True. Mech Rogue is one of the matchup that Control Priest handles well. Yeah, so I got Legend with this deck, like Control Priest, and I picked Control Priest because I was going against every one of my opponents was playing Mech Rogue. So if you just answer Mech Rogues, you just roll them. But because Mech Rogue was nerfed, This may not be good. Automaton priest sadly doesn't work. Sad beep boop noises. No, not the sad beep boop noises, man. All right. Warlock. Shadow Warlock looks top tier below Diamond 5, but looks increasingly questionable at higher levels of play. This is not a good sign, as it indicates that the archetype has struggled to handle the best decks in an optimized format. Well, it turns out, Blizzard, if your entire deck is based on, hey, do I draw the turn 5 slime or not? That basically decides my deck. And if my opponent doesn't care about it because they could just kill me from hand, we suffer. The Hound Hunter matchup is surprisingly interested. Or, oh my God, the Hound Hunter matchup is surprisingly good. I don't know where I got interested from. But Mage and Shaman are a nightmare. Yeah. Cool. Warlock cannot handle over the top bursts, especially not OTKs. The mech nerf should help, as the matchup was oppressively poor. Shadow Warlock may also be able to improve its standing. The Hound Hunter manages to give it a hand by curbing its biggest enemies. In a meta dictated by Mage and Shaman, it cannot thrive. Our general expectation is that Chad will get stronger after a patch by piggybacking on Hunter's success, because Hunter will be better, Warlock's better. Goddamn. Curse Warlock, no one cares. Loken Control Warlock is going through refinement, but we don't have confidence as his power level. It's like inferior. Yeah, it's just worse. Why would I want to play a deck that plays for stats when I could play this thing and just win the game with Thaddeus? Doesn't make any sense. Our estimate is that Imp Warlock is not very good, but there's a reason why it almost sees no play above gold. Because no one wants to play Imps, dude. It's not that it's not very good. No one, dude. Chad, have you ever woken up and said to yourself, oh my God, I can't wait to play Imp Warlock today? No! No one gives a fuck about Imp Warlock unless it's like the best deck in the game, man. God damn, if the next, chat, here's what we're gonna do for the next expansion. Next time they're revealing cards for the next expansion, I will do a stream where I look at the Warlock cards for the first time, and every single time I look at a card that has the word Imp on it, I'm gonna take a shot. And we'll see how fucked up I get. God damn, I hope it's not Imp Warlock for the next expansion. But, okay, we'll see. Demon Hunter. Warlock Demon Hunter is quietly doing fine. I mean, I know. Okay, I don't know why I'm getting mad at Vicious Syndicate. Despite the fact that players are doing the best to sabotage it with terrible packages of cards, it also has the flexibility to adapt if the meta changes, as it can theoretically fit a lot of disruption tools to combat Mage and Shaman at the cost of its other matchups. There's no reason to go crazy just yet, as Hound Hunter is just as big of a threat, if not more. Okay. So currently, this deck is fine, and its power level is just not insane because other decks are stronger. Okay. Warrior, chat. I can't wait to read Warrior. Let's read it. Control Warrior looks okay, a big disappointment for Odin fans, but there's some room for, okay, all right, let's stop coping. Let's cope. Well, we don't need to cope here. There's a path for Odin to become successful win condition in the future. It's something that can be seen in the data. Warrior's major flaw that prevents it from competing is the current format has little to do with Odin. More on this Warrior in the Warrior section. Okay. Enraged Warrior doesn't see much play, but it might be okay. I mean, dude, people are so tired. Like, if I read the word Enrage one more time next to Warrior, I'm gonna get enraged, man. I don't care about this. All right. Druid. Forgot of the stats this week on Druid. There's not an indication of Druid's peak potential whatsoever. True. I think Druid has the potential to be absolutely nuts. Situation in the class is simple. There's a big pile of garbage, a massive pile of terrible decks that do not work. Your power stuff isn't working. Aggro Druid has fallen very quickly, while the Eonor Freya combo looks too slow to matter. Oh. There's one gem of a deck inside all of the garbage. Jesus. A very curated Drum Druid centered around Topiary and a consistent active drum circle. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess cheating. I don't know. Like, this is just cheating mana again, isn't it? It's like that one card that makes drum circle cast both. Okay, whatever. Pure Paladin is a solid deck, but dude, no one wants that. How many expansions has it been now where Pure Paladin is just the best deck for Paladin? I feel like I've seen it forever at this point. I think people are just tired. Mac Paladin doesn't seem good enough to hang around. Really? Interesting. That's surprising. You'd think Mech Paladin would have been really good with the cards that they got. I'm not gonna really read this section. This is just more about how they built their deck, but I am gonna take a peek at what the mage deck looks like just to see what they did. Oh, they are running like the, I don't know, this is basically what we've been seeing before. Yeah, one volume up, star power. Oh, they run the 7 drop. Okay. Hunter, don't care. See that. Radiance is in the deck now. Okay. Well, that's the Vicious Syndicate report chat. So the metagame looks like it's catering towards more combo decks. The start of Titans was hot. But things may get more interesting next week. I am praying to God that this doesn't become United Stormwind, but at this point, I'm already long gone from Hearthstone, like playing standard, so we'll see. All right.